Think about it. Are you a do-more or a do-for? Hey my treasures, it's Serena and welcome back to another video. A few notes before I get started. I know I sound super congested and my voice is going. I've had a horrifically stressful week and it's taken a harsh toll on my voice and shot my congestion levels through the roof. My treasures, I don't believe being a speaker is about hiding when life hurts. If I were to post content only when I felt whole and happy, I might never upload another video. I think the greatest inspiration is born when people see you hurting, but they also see you trying to keep going. Even if that means clawing yourself along by your fingertips, positivity is birthed from trying and always seeking that silver lining, not from never feeling pain or lying to followers with fake smiles. So just bear with me and bear with any low energy this video might contain, because what you're seeing right now is a growing experience. I also want to apologize for the lack of uploading the past couple weeks. I do try to upload every other day. I know that is super ambitious, but I do love what I do. I admit that schedule may suffer a bit due to what I'm dealing with right now, or it may not. I'm really not sure what's happening. So we will see. Any positive vibes, prayers, or virtual hugs you guys want to send my way will be shamelessly hoarded. My schedule was also completely thrown off last week because, well, okay, here's what went down. Monday, there was no school due to President's Day, so my daughter was at home. On Tuesday, I had a Girl Scout meeting that pretty much lasted throughout the entire afternoon, what with getting there to and from. Wednesday was a snow day, so again, my daughter was home. Thursday, there was a 2-hour delay because of snow, and I had a home interview with a guide dog school, which was pretty awesome. And on top of all of that, I had equipment malfunctions. It also took me a while to lay out this video. I don't script them, but I do try to jot down key points that I don't want to forget to mention. In this instance, there was so much I wanted to say on this topic that sorting my thoughts into coherent segments was a lot harder than I thought it would be. So that 20-minute intro aside, let's do this. I recently completed the Disability Misconceptions tag, which I will link below. And I didn't want to address this topic in that video because I believe it to be rather a controversial one within the blind community. By the same token, I believe it's a bit of an elephant in the room that needs to be discussed. So without further ado, I want to talk to you today about the two types of blind people. Now, before jumping in, I want to start by saying this is my opinion only. I haven't been approached by well-known agencies or YouTubers to talk about this. It's not meant to be insulting either. It's only meant to raise awareness and to explain to the sighted community that we're not all the same. In my last video, I addressed, as the title expresses, misconceptions about blindness. What I didn't talk about are the misconceptions perpetuated by a segment of the blind community itself. Within the blind community, there are two distinct groups of blind people. I call them the do-mores and the do-fors. What is a do-more? A do-more is a blind person who does not allow their visual limitation to define them or their abilities. A do-more recognizes the hurdles in their path, and rather than allow those hurdles to cage them, they just brace themselves and get ready to leap. A do-more is the independent blind person you might see in a store or at a bus stop or walking down a sidewalk. They may run into some issues while out and about, but they do try. And despite the bad days full of hashtag blind people problems, they keep trying. What is a do-for? A do-for is a blind person who is content to use their blindness as an excuse as to why they can't do things for themselves. A do-for is the blind person sitting on the sofa in their own home, asking excited friends and family to fetch them a glass of water from the next room. If someone suggests a do-for attempts to complete a task independently, their response is generally something along the lines of, "I would, but I'm blind." As you can imagine, this is a problem, especially when the world sees it happening. How do I know if I'm a do-more or a do-for? It's really simple. If you're blind and you try your hardest every day to do your best, you're a do-more. If you've just gone blind, you still need a lot of help with basic tasks, but you do want to learn how to accomplish them independently, you're a do-more. If you've just lost your sight, you're still struggling through the grieving process, but you're tentatively trying to find ways to cope, you're a do-more. Fear of the unknown does not make you a do-for. Needing to ask for help, sometimes a lot of it, does not make you a do-for. Using your blindness as an excuse for never learning to be independent makes you a do-for. Allowing yourself to be babied due to your disability makes you a do-for. And I want to point out here to parents with blind or visually impaired children, the way you treat them as they're growing up will determine whether or not they grow up a do-more or a do-for. If you always do for them, coddle them, and shield them from the difficulties of the world, that is all they will ever know. You are doing them a disservice when you do this, because you won't always be there. And if you teach them that the world will always cater to their visual limitations, you are setting them up for a devastating transition. The world will not accommodate their blindness. It's a battle we fight every day. Don't set them up to lose that battle. To the do-fors out there, you are so much stronger than you think you are. You can do anything you set your mind to do. If you feel like you're useless, you're not. If you feel like a burden, you can't change that. If you're scared, that's all right. We've all been there. If you just like people taking care of you, I want you to think of this. When society looks at you and sees that lack of independence, they aren't just seeing you. You become the face of all blind people to them, especially if they've never before met one. You and the choices you make represent an entire community. Whether you like it or not, all blind people are linked by society's misconceptions of our abilities. We have to work as individual parts of a whole to show society that those negative preconceptions are invalid. Do-fors, listen. The confirmation of one negative misconception can take the efforts of over 100 do-mores to undo. How do I transition from being a do-for to a do-more? This is going to vary from person to person. If you were raised to be a do-for, it's going to be hard. If there are people in your life who want you to remain a do-for, you're going to have to find the strength to be assertive. Let them know you love them, that you appreciate them. Overprotective behavior probably stems from a fear of watching you get hurt, either physically or emotionally. I completely get that. I am a mother. The thought of my daughter getting hurt in any way breaks my heart. So validate them, but calmly explain that this is your life and you want to find your own 2 feet within it. If you live in the US, every state has an agency for the blind you can establish with. I will tell you now, you are going to have to be assertive because they usually have pretty heavy caseloads. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that's just how it is. I'm not certain what's available in other countries like Canada or Scotland, England, Australia, New Zealand. I'll do research and post the links to all the agencies in the US and whatever I can find in other countries in the description field. There are also tons of other resources out there, agencies, websites, tutorials, YouTube videos, podcasts, etc. If you have the drive to learn, you can find your answers. If you already have people in your life encouraging you toward more independence, it will be so much easier to transition. Having at least one person in your corner, a friend, a family member, or someone from a support group online even, it will make a marked difference. Because there will be hard days, and you can't go through it alone. But what if I'm just grieving? Am I still a do-for? Absolutely not. If you lose your sight, even if you've never had full sight, it is still a grieving process. Take it from somebody who has experienced grief. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you throw up anything you try to put into your body, you experience physical agony, and you feel as though your life has just become a grave. This is normal. Feeling this way after sight loss does not make you a do-for. It makes you human. Grief can last years. Being a doer is about the mindset. If you want it, even if you don't know how to get it, even if you don't yet have the strength to try, you are still a doer. It's when you let the grief control you and blindness becomes this shield against independence that you become a do-for. I think I've contributed to creating a do-for. How do I stop caring? You don't. Never stop caring. Never stop loving them. Never stop wanting to protect them. You just need to stop clinging so tightly. You can still hold someone close while giving them room to breathe. Being someone's cornerstone shouldn't mean holding their hand constantly. You have to let them stand on their own. Loving them, it means being there when they fall. It doesn't mean carrying them past every hurdle. They need to learn to fight as well. If you want to help them, work with them. Read the sites, watch the videos, listen to the podcasts, learn about the world they're living in now. Take baby steps. Help them find ways to navigate their home independently. Help them find ways to pour their drinks independently. Show them how to put toothpaste on their toothbrush. Teach them a method of making their bed by feel. Some methods used by blind people are completely self-taught. And that's okay. If it works, that's all that matters. Encourage them, especially when they make mistakes. It will take time, but you can do it. All of you. Can doers become do-fors? I think that's a lot less likely than a do-for becoming a do-more. If you have an independent mindset, I think it would take something really traumatic to rob you of that. I know a do-for who doesn't want to change. What can I do? Nothing. Change comes from within. You can't force it. They may have a revelation one day, or they may not. All you can do is encourage and wait. Why don't people talk about this more? I feel as though this is a very controversial topic. I just have this annoying habit of blurting out my opinion on topics more tactful people wouldn't touch. But as said above, the blind community works as a whole. And I think admitting that some stereotypes are perpetuated by the blind isn't something we like to do. Anyway, that is it for today, my treasures. Think about it. Are you a do more or a do for? Thank you so much for watching. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for choosing to add me to the content that you enjoy seeing. I can't even tell you how much it means to me. It's such a touching feeling. If you just stumbled upon this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the little notification bell if you want to be informed when I upload new content. And until next time, my treasures, I bid you all a fond adieu. I love you guys. Bye.